Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about crime dramas that I watch. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Your Honor. Great episode. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. First and foremost, got Jimmy breaking into Michael and Adam's house. That took me by surprise, and I was like, the moment he's with Django, I was like, no, please don't kill Django. Notice we didn't see Django the entire episode. I mean, I feel like if Django went missing, they would have said something, but part of me was like, literally the entire scene, I'm like, please don't kill Django. Please don't kill Django. Because let's not forget, he did the whole thing with the bird in the cage, smashing it with a golf club. That's why I was kind of worried. I was like, please don't kill the family dog, just to send a message. Don't go all Godfather, horse head in the bed type of situation. Please don't. Is that actually Godfather? I don't know. I've seen it referenced multiple times. I think it's a Godfather. I've never seen any of the Godfather movies, so it's a terrible reference to make. But I'm pretty sure it's a Godfather, but don't quote me on that. I'm making myself look like an idiot. I don't care. Moving on. Fact of the matter is, I was like, please don't let this be one of those situations. But then even later on, I was like, the way he was talking to Fia later on, I was like, he's like, we should get a dog. I was like, are you going to take their dog Django and make it your own dog? I was like, oh, look at this dog we got. Granted, I guess spending time in the house with Django made him go, we should get a dog. But nevertheless, I love that he went in there pissed and made sure to get a little drop of piss on the toilet. I'm like, such a subtle little thing, going in there, turning the picture of mom around. I'm like, why do these little things? But then he finds the inhaler. I'm like, oh boy. So that connects two and two together for him. It's like, oh, it's there was an inhaler at the crime scene, this and that. I'm like, okay. So things don't look good on that front. And even later on, he's talking to his right hand man. He's like, Jimmy, you sure? This is a judge we're talking about. But Jimmy's like, fuck it, do it. This is my son we're talking about. So Jimmy's right-hand dude is following Michael around, which Michael, you piece of shit. Once again, it's just weird talking about a character who has the same name as me. And she says it makes me feel weird. Regardless, tangents and all that. But that scene with Nancy, trying to make it, and it seems like Nancy has, which makes this even more effed up. It seems like Nancy either personally, in the fact that it either happened to her or someone that she knows, what was in an abusive relationship, because he's spinning his story about a woman who has 4 kids, working 2 jobs, meets up with the wrong guy. He was an abusive, and then the situation got turned around. Basically, she lost everything while he kind of walked away with the dog and everything. Ironic considering like the dog situation. It's like, but he's like, I don't know who, obviously, but the way he was talking, he was like, you would probably know, who am I talking to? You would know better than anyone. And Nancy was like, yeah. So I'm like, some personal connection of hers, like I said, whether it was herself or someone she knows went through something like that. So he's even more of a piece of shit using what he knows about her to like sway her like that. Not just her personal history, but knowing something crappy happened to her or someone that she knows. And so it's like, yeah, I only have because I knew he had the home dude's, license plate, but only has like the first 3 parts of it. So it's like, all right, he has Nancy running it, because it's like, yeah, we got to track down this piece of crap, because he's like, listen to me, asking you to break the law, I'm all about upholding the law here. I'm asking you to do it, what a hypocrite I am. She's like, a hypocrite is something no one would ever describe you as, Mark. I'm like, that's funny. That's meant to be a ha 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 funny like moment of just kind of like, oh, the irony behind that statement, Nancy. But then it's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna leave. These are private citizens, but you know what? We gotta find this piece of shit. It's like, you want to help her out in family court? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So he tracks down the addresses. He's checking on each one. He meets up with old man Ed. I love that scene with Ed. And he's like, Danny, wait, you're leaving already? Because you came there to, drop off some groceries and stuff like that to see, but you didn't realize it was going to be old man Ed. You're putting stuff in the way for him. It's like, oh, your groceries are here. He's like, how's Tampa? It's like, yeah, it's hot, Ed. And then it's just like, you leaving, but then like, I was curious because the moment he was like, I have dementia, and Michael stopped, I was like, you're gonna spew everything to this man who could throw everything back in your face. Luckily, Michael is smart enough to know, don't tell him everything, but he's just like, obviously it's hard, it's like literally was thousands of weight of pressure that's on him because of these circumstances, and obviously he gets into it about the whole, like, it's like his son, it's like, it's that whole that love situation. It's like, it makes you do stuff that you never thought you would do, for the sake of your child, because obviously your world they mean everything to you, but how far he's willing to go to protect Adam, to ensure Adam's okay. And then Ed starts talking about, he's like, yeah, I understand what you're talking about. You remember Trevor, 67. And it's like, what? 67 cigarettes. And he came out ass backwards. I even love it later on. He's like, 67 cigarettes. And that ass first motherfucker steals my Camry. Favorite line of the episode. That is such a damn good line. I love that line so much. And in a moment, because Michael was breaking down, and the moment he hears about Trevor stolen Camry, he was like, wait. It's like, yeah, he doesn't visit me. It's like that. Something was wrong with that kid from the moment he was born to now. Probably always going to be like a mess up in your life. And Michael starts commenting because he's like, now, oh, so this Trevor, you know what, Ed, let's go for, I'll take you out for the outing. He's like, really? It was a nice scene because he was able to open up to someone, because he's like, there's plenty of stuff like he has to bear on his own. He has secrets he can never tell anyone, but it was nice to have someone he can talk to. Granted, he didn't go into the ins and outs, but there's no one in his life he can talk to about it. I mean, only person is Charlie, but Charlie's got his own like complicated mix up in all of this. So like, you can't bare your soul to him about everything, because he'll be like, get your shit together, Michael. You're not going to drag me down if you fuck up, so there's that. But then there's also like, he can't really talk to Adam about it, because Adam doesn't even talk to him about everything. So it's like, this was kind of a moment to kind of release some of that. But then he's like, wait, oh, it's your son. I even love later on, he drives, because I guess Trevor drives cars, kind of like an driving service situation, and Michael was talking to him about everything, and he's like, oh, you want a boat and everything, how much is that going to set you back? About 200,000. It's like, oh, so that's what this is all about. This blackmail money is about getting a boat. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Leaves the phone, later on calls up Trevor, yo, meet me here, or if you want this all said and done. He also had a moment with Michael, with Charlie. Michael had a moment with Charlie, sorry. Where he was like, if something happens to me, you take care of Adam, right? He's like, of course. He's like, you good, Michael? He's like, no, I'm good. It's like, because I guess with everything going on, he knows it was only a matter of time. Because obviously when he was home earlier, he noticed that the picture was backwards. He was like, I think he didn't think too much of it. He's like, that's weird. But he probably chalks it up. Might have been Adam. Adam probably did. But then it's like, yeah, it's that one picture. But I guess it's like, maybe he thought, it's probably, Adam being, upset. Like, this is still close enough to the anniversary. We're past it, but it's still around the time of the anniversary. So I'm sure it got him thinking about his mom more, especially with everything going on. So he probably didn't think too much of it. But then he also found the picture of Django on Adam's pillow. And you're like, okay, so does he know, or is he just kind of like, did Adam take this picture? Like, I'm sure he doesn't know what to really make of all that. Some other things going down in this episode I want to talk about. Carlo is stupid. I won't lie to you. I saw that scene. I'm like, Carlo, you're a fucking idiot. How are you going to do business with the group that's pissed at you? Let's not forget, you killed Kofi. Your dad blew up Kofi's family. Only person that's left is his brother. Granted, they don't know that Eugene is Kofi's brother. I mean, Eugene's literally in the same room with the dude that killed his brother. Granted, I don't know if he knows that. He knows that Carlo's a Baxter, but I don't know if he knows that that's the person who killed his brother. I don't know. But that's why I'm like, why are you stupid? You were literally in the room with her when she told your dad, if you want war, we can give you a war. It's like, I guess he thinks, oh, it's all Gucci because it's like, she came to tell you like, hey, but I guess it's like he's doing his own thing, which it seems like his mom knows that he's up to something because it's like, oh yeah, we just got the stuff from the farmer's market. And she's like, I'll make sure no one disturbs you. He's like, thanks, Mom. So it's like, Jimmy doesn't seem like he's too happy about Carlo's little side project, whatever he's getting up to, which makes you wonder, like, that whole situation when he went to jail in the first place for beating that kid up. Because I think, once again, that kid, like, had connections to Desire, which means, like, that's even more reason, because it's like, this is the second time you've done something to somebody related to Desire. But I think in the long run, like, I think part of me was wondering, did his mom do that? Because it seems like he's willing to listen to his mom. He's not willing to listen to his dad, because his dad's probably like, no, like, we're not doing whatever shitty idea you have, which I'm like, because obviously he's trying to do the drunk thing. Like, obviously he brought it up last episode, him and his boys trying to do their thing. But I'm like, you could have gotten business with anybody. I mean, granted, it's Desire. They're probably big in the drug trade and shit like that. But I'm like, why? why would you work with the people that are going to want you dead? This ain't no forgive and forget situation. Like, you killed Kofi, you killed his family. Once again, he doesn't know that's Eugene. He doesn't know that they're tight like that. But it's still like, why would you do that? I guess in his mind, it's like, hey, you're willing to do business with me? Cool. I guess we can let bygones be bygones. Like I said, I would assume they know that he's the one. I mean, because other people know it was Carlo that did it. So how would Desire not know? But it seemed, and even Eugene was sitting there, I was like, are they about to pop Carlo? I was like, I don't think they would, because Big Mo made it clear last episode, she's going to do things slow. And then it's like, oh, father-son divided. It's like, okay, so you want to cause a gap between them. It's like kind of a divide and conquer type of situation. Because it's like, if you can get in, draw him in, and then eventually like use him as a means of like, well, he killed somebody's son, your son died too, but I guess it's also like, I don't know what role Big Mo's going to use, like, Carlo for, what role he's going to play in like her countermeasures against the bastards, because she is going to strike back. Like I said, she's just biding her time, but I guess if she can divide them, kind of turn him, piss Jimmy off to be like, whoa, you're making moves behind my back, and use that to kind of divide the Baxter family. I don't know. Like I said, especially because like Gina and Jimmy don't see eye to eye on like that stuff. Because obviously, like, his reservations about making the big move like she wanted to. Because obviously, she's the one that kind of started this by getting, once again, still unapologetic about getting Carlo to kill Kofi. But, it is what it is in a, effed up way. But like I said, the way Eugene was dogging, like, got his eyes on Carlo, like, he knows. He has to know. It can't just be like, oh, he's a Baxter. It's like, no, that's the Baxter that killed my brother. Has to be. Once again, Baxter killed the rest of his family too, but I'm curious to see how that ends up playing out. So you have that. Then we have that continuous Adam and Thea thing. I'm like, that is so messed up, especially because he's getting close to her, asking her about her brother. It's like, he wanted to aim for the moons, and it's like, oh, he would do this and that. And she's like, really? He talked about all that? It's like, well, some of that's just me, about the life she would have wanted Rocco to live. Because it's like, by keeping that alive, it's almost like she's got to live for him too. It's like, got to live for the both of them, like live the life that he never got to live. He was only 17 years old, and she even talks about that. It's like, the person who murdered her brother didn't just steal his life away, stole away the life I had with him, and she can never get that back. And obviously it's like, what's the last thing you and your brother, like the big conversation you had, it was about life. Obviously for Adam and his mom, it was like, did you fart? And that was the last thing that was said between them, and the next thing he knew, he never saw her again, and so they're having their like heart to heart, and she's like, obviously it's like, you looked me up, don't lie, don't ever lie to me, which is like, oh, that's going to come back, the whole like, don't ever lie to me thing. But it's like, yeah, about your dad. She's like, my dad worked hard. He's been working since he was 9 years old to take care of his family, including his siblings. And for her, she doesn't believe all like the mob shit that's said about her dad, but I think it's more so like, he is who he is. He loves us, and she brings up like her oldest brother, and it's just like, Carlo, and just like, it's just a lot, and then her, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting the Adam and Thea situation to be what it is. It's actually extra effed up, because it's like, you're getting close to the, girl whose brother you killed. But I guess it's like, this way he especially because I think it's also like, it plays into the whole, well, you and Franny didn't work out. That kind of ended, and we haven't circled back to that in any shape or form since. But I think, especially the way they're setting this up, because like, Michael told that story about how he met Adam's mom, and it's just like, the whole scar story, which is super adorable. But then it's also like, it's like life will throw you in certain directions, and it just takes like, you can never know where it's going to come, where it's like, hey, like you come to like, life kind of lines up perfectly, and it sets forth like you just in the right place at the right time, and your future is right there in front of you, because obviously for him it's like, that one moment and everything led to their 30 years of marriage. And I guess Adam seeing a little bit of that, going in for his interview and stuff like that. Just the moment between him and Thea. Even Jimmy wanting to know, like, oh, so who's his Adam kid? Who's his dad? What does his dad do? Oh, you want to vet him? All right. Because the moment Jimmy was rolling up to have his boy go in there and kill Michael, Adam got home, and I think because of that, it's like, we're not, because I don't think they don't know Adam like they saw the kid, but I'm sure when it's all said and done, because it's like, Fia, I want to meet this kid. All right, I'm a vet of myself. It's when him and Adam meet, it's going to be like, wait. Well, to be fair, it was nighttime, so he might not have gotten a good look at him, but it's also going to be like, what's your last name? Which makes you wonder, what the hell is Adam going to do? Adam going to be like, oh, my last name's something else. Don't want to draw attention to this being, because if he throws out his last name, it's going to be like, oh, for one, that would mean that Theo would find out, like, oh, you're connected to... oh, the car that was used to kill my brother was stolen by you. But obviously Gina and Jimmy would know, hey, this is there's that whole thing, you know? So I don't know. That's going to be a tense ass situation when it comes up. But, okay, there's that. You got Lee making moves on her own, trying to get someone to confirm what she knows. So she's able to finally get one dude to talk. Because ain't nobody else, everyone else is like, I ain't no snitch. I'm not, I know what happens to me. Home dude is like, okay, you're going to help me with my situation. Because she's like, normally my firm charges like $1,000. I'm going to do it for $1,000 cheaper to help out your situation. It's like, fine. He's like, I saw Kofi walk in, guards yelling a couple minutes later, Kofi dead. So it's like, all right. So he ends up dropping the name. He's like, Carlo. And I was like, wait for that drop, Baxter. And Lee looks up and it's like, because later on it's like, she doesn't have enough evidence until that dude is like, how about some DNA evidence? She's calling up Michael. We got him. And Michael's like, oh, that's great. Obviously, he's dealing with the whole Trevor situation, so he doesn't really have time for that. So it's like, hey, here's the boat. Oh, you bought me the boat? No. I financed it. I will be making the monthly payments on it as long as because he's like, I know you're going to come back wanting more and more. So I made this arrangement so I don't have to constantly pay you. I'm paying for this boat. You screw this up. You screw, do like release anything. The fact of the matter is, when it's all said and done, this boat, this situation is, your life is going to go back the way it is. You're going to be the selfish prick that you are, never visiting your dad with dementia, lonely dad with dementia. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that's an interesting contrast too, just because it's like Ed and his relationship with Trevor. I mean, I'm sure that's the contrast they're going for between him and his son and Michael and Adam. Which is interesting because obviously, like, we learned about Ed and Trevor's relationship, but obviously Adam and Michael had their moment in this episode too, talking about his relationship with Adam's mom. But yeah, even Trevor being like, "Oh, you want to come out on a boat with me?" I'm like, "What? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Who's trying to blackmail me?" I would have been like, "Shut the hell up! What? Why the hell you acting like we all buddy?" But I guess it's like, nah, you did me a solid. Like, yeah, I'm blackmailing you, but come on, bro, you did me a solid. And then Michael and his boy show up. I'm like, oh shit. And then, he's got, because he is dead set on being like, you're the one that killed my son. I'm like, okay, at least he thinks you did it and doesn't know that Adam's actually the one that did it. Even if he finds out that Adam is Michael's son, he'll never correlate it, because I'm sure that's why he didn't pull the trigger that night, because it's like, because his dude was like, you want me to do both of them? But he was like, nah. Once again, luckily, like Fia literally driving off, but the way the vehicle was parked, they didn't see each other. So, but for him, I guess because it's like, because I was about to say, it's not like you care about kids because you killed Famale and her kids, all the rest of Eugene's siblings. So it's not like, but I guess it's more so like, well, this is an innocent kid who's about Rocco's age. Maybe that's the reservation, which is also effed up, because you almost look at it as like, well, notice how you screwed over a black family, but you're willing to be okay with Michael. I'll let Adam live because he's a kid about the same age as Rocco. That it can look a certain way. Maybe that's kind of the point they're subtly trying to make. Maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's just interesting to think about. But he doesn't know that it's Adam. He thinks it's Michael. He thinks the inhaler is Michael and everything. Once again, luckily, because they're jumping to their own conclusions, because once again, they were running the DNA on that. Granted, I don't think anything would come up. Maybe it did, because, obviously, Adam shares half his DNA with his dad. But once again, he's a judge, so I don't think it works in that. Like, your DNA isn't in a system unless you're a criminal. I don't think if you're in law enforcement or anything in the justice system, I don't think your DNA is automatically, at least I don't think it is. But even if it did come back, it would come back as only registered as like partially, because obviously he has half his dad's DNA, the other half is his. So it would read like it's not his full DNA, I would assume, but I could be mistaken. So, but I don't think they've checked back on that since. Because once again, it was supposed to be 36 hours, but then they found out, oh, it was Kofi. They felt like he confessed. They didn't need any more. Now that they're dead set on it being like, nope, it's Michael, then he doesn't need any more. So it's like, hey, I'm going to kill you. You killed my son. And it's like, wait. Carlo's in trouble. They're about to arrest him. They got DNA. I'm a judge. I can get his case in my court. I can get him away with it. It's like, oh, you say that now? That's not going to be easy. You got Lee, who is a bloodhound in this situation. She will not let this go, getting justice for Kofi and everything. There's no way this is going to go as easily as you think it is. It's like, but once again, he's scrambling. Because obviously people, you can't help it. People are going to make comparisons between like Walter White and, because obviously, Bryan Cranston. So like, it's one of those things when you see someone in a certain role, you can't help but see. It's like, because some people are like, yeah, he's doing a little bit, got a little bit of that Walter White flavor to it. But when he's up there begging for his life, it's one of those things where you're almost like, oh, this almost seems like a Walt and Gus type of situation that we're in right now. But wait. It's one of those things. He does that so well too. Wait. No. Like it's you see flavors of it. You can't help it. And like it's sadly one of those things is when you become so known for like one particular iconic character, it will always kind of follow you, which is always the benefit and detriment. I'm sure every actor feels out where it's like, yeah, that was something I did literally 7 years ago. Actually, it's a little more consciously because of El Camino. I still need to go back. I've not seen El Camino yet, regardless of, tangents and all that. So now it's like, I can work out for you like that. I can help get your son away from, because he's going to get charged with murder, and Jimmy lets him live. And it's like, all right, what about this dude? What does he know? And then Brian, I was about to say Brian, Michael's like contemplating it in his head because it's like, yeah, this actually is a surefire way to get rid of it. It's like, what does he know? It's like, well, Michael didn't lie. He does know everything. So Jimmy pops him. And it's like, well, to be fair, don't want any other loose ends out there. But it also works out to Michael's benefit because like the only other person in existence that knows everything. Once again, we haven't circled back to it. Who the hell is in that damn black vehicle? Whoever it was, they've seen Adam twice. They saw him at the accident. They know what's what. They also saw him at the crime scene again. It's like, I'm waiting for that mystery to be revealed on who the hell that was. Might be someone related to Desire that was following him. Maybe not. We'll see. But I'm like, yo, things continue to heat up. We only got a couple episodes left at this point. We've only got 4 left. It's going to be wild to see where the next episode takes us, but the rest of this season too, because this is awesome. I cannot wait to see what happens next. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.